Hey everyone, it's James from FunFoods, and today I'm going to show you how to make this haunted gingerbread house, complete with a ghost coming out of the roof. The house is kind of like on fire. It's a lot of fun making this, so keep watching and I'll show you step by step how to make this. To make this recipe, I have one large bowl. Inside of it, I have one stick of butter, which is a half a cup, softened at room temperature. To that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of water, 1 large egg. I'm using this gingerbread cookie mix. You can, of course, make your own gingerbread from scratch. That will be fine. And we're doing this just for time's sake. That way we're not spending all day just making the gingerbread. We're gonna spend a lot of time decorating it. So I'm gonna open this up, pour our mix in our bowl, and just mix it until everything's well combined. And after a few minutes of mixing, a nice dough should have formed. Now we'll move on to the next step. Now what we're going to do is I just changed my surface to something that's non-stick, and I'm going to put some flour on there. I'm going to sprinkle it with some flour. I also have a rolling pin. I'm going to sprinkle some flour as well. We'll take our dough, turn it out onto our surface. Knead the dough just a little bit, and then we're going to roll it out nice and flat. I cut out some templates from some thick paper here, and we're going to use this. I'm going to cut 2 of these. These are going to be the front and the back. So I'm just going to lay it out there. I'm going to use a cookie cutter, but you can also use a knife and just cut this. I have a baking sheet here and it already has a non-stick mat on it. So I'm just going to transfer our cut out cookies, our cut out gingerbread house onto that. Now this is only 2 of the things I need cut. I need more stuff cut, but I'm going to roll it back up afterwards. Let's just move that stuff aside. So these are on our baking sheet. I'm going to take these, put these in the oven between 8 and 10 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the sides, I have a very, it's only 3 inches wide. For the sides of my gingerbread house, I cut out this, which is the same height as the height of my front and back, but the sides are only about 3 inches. That's how deep my gingerbread house is going to be. So we'll put that there. And right here is what we're going to need for the roof. Now just put this in the oven at 375 for 8 to 10 minutes. When our gingerbread house has come out of the oven, we want to let it cool down completely and harden up before we move on to the next step. For the next step, I'm going to make the royal icing that's going to help hold all of our gingerbread house together. It's also going to be used for decoration. So in a large bowl here, I'm going to add about 2 cups of powdered sugar. Now I'm using meringue powder instead of raw eggs. Now the traditional way to make this is use the egg whites, but I have some meringue powder and I don't have cream of tartar. So I'm going to do it the meringue powder way. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of meringue powder. And we're going to add only about 3 tablespoons of water, but I'm going to do a little less than that first. I'll start off with 2 tablespoons. And then we can see how we do. Mix this up. And again, some more water. Be careful not to add too much at this stage. But if you do, don't worry, you can always add more powdered sugar. So when you're happy with the consistency you have here, now what we want to do is I'm going to color this batch black. I'm going to make 2 different batches, 1 black and 1 purple. The black is going to be mostly what I use. So I'm going to squirt some black food coloring in here. So that's going to be our royal icing that we're going to use to put our house together. I'm going to do that right away. You don't want to let this sit out or it will harden up. You can cover it with a wet towel and that'll help prolong it, but you really want to use it right away. Now for the hard part, we're going to put this together, and to do this, it's really good if you have 2 people, but you want to start with your serving dish. This is the final dish it's going to go on. Now I've already put my royal icing in a bag, a piping bag, and I'm going to start with the front one. I'm going to put it pretty close to the front. Now ours is only going to be 3 inches deep, so it's not going to be very deep. I'm going to put a small amount of this royal icing right here, just to kind of hold the front end. My gingerbread house is dying. No. No. Hold on. Don't die on me. Don't. No. This sucks. Now we're going to attempt to put the roof on. I waited about 10 minutes. Hopefully this will give it some stability. Oh no. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, it broke. Oh. My haunted house is a fail. I probably should have made the house a little thicker. These were rather thin. If I made my gingerbread a little thicker, it might have been a little more firm. Maybe cooking it a little longer would help. But this was a total fail. At least it tastes good. Since my gingerbread house didn't work out as planned the first time, I redid it. This time, when I made the gingerbread, I left it in the oven an extra 5 minutes, so to make it a little firmer, and I let it sit out overnight so it would get nice and hard. So I constructed the house just like I did before. I made my royal icing, and this time I made it purple instead of black. That was the only difference. So now, let's get to decorating it. So I've already taken some chocolate and drawn an outline of a window here and a door here. What I'm going to do is fill in this window with orange. This is orange chocolate. And you can smooth it out with a toothpick. Don't worry if it's not all that great, because we're going to put a gummy eyeball right in the middle there. And you may have to hold it on there for a bit, just until it firms up. And another thing I did was I had taken white chocolate and I just made an outline on some paper, parchment paper. And this is a ghost. And I'm gonna put him on the top here of our fiery gingerbread house, whatever you want to call this. Putting a lot of chocolate on there. Hopefully this will get it to where it'll stay. And we just got to hold him there for a bit until he firms up. I didn't mention before, but the red in the background is just like a fiery haunted house and a ghost coming out of it. I just think that's really cool. Also have, these are edible. They're usually used for cupcake decorations, but I'm going to put some of our chocolate on there. You can also do this with the frosting. And we'll put one here. One somewhere over here. Also, we're going to put some more fresh frosting around here. Now we can decorate using some candy corns. I'm going to move that one back. Put this one up here. Then of course we got the little pumpkins that we can put on our front porch. Maybe a whole bunch of candy corns all the way around it. So here it is. Here is our fiery haunted gingerbread house made for Halloween. It's a lot of fun. You can decorate it any way you like. It's really cool. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this haunted gingerbread house. It was a lot of fun making it, and this was a request video by quite a few different people, so thank you so much for that request, and I think it turned out quite nice at the end. We did have a little bit of problem at first. The gingerbread was too soft, so I did have to heat it up a little bit longer and let it sit out and firm up before I put the house together. That's the big tip there. But you can decorate it any way you like, and if you do, please share it with me on any of my social media at FunFoodsYT. Also, if you're not already subscribed, hit that big red subscribe button. And as always, I will see you next time.